How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. We are back for another week and I hope every single one of you have had a really good weekend. Now, we're going to take a look at the back pages and what is going on in the world of football. We're also going to briefly speak about England's performance against Scotland. And the last piece of news involves Arsenal because reports are suggesting that Kieran Tierney has signed a new 5-year contract.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So the first place, we're going to start the matches over the course of the weekend in the Euros and one game in particular. And you know what? It was probably one of the worst games of the whole tournament so far. England against Scotland, the oldest rivalry in international football. And it was just absolutely awful. The tactics set up by Gareth Southgate were abysmal. Two defensive midfielders, no fullbacks overlapping. No supply line for Harry Kane. No Jack Grealish. Took Phil Foden off for whatever reason. Sterling was not having a great game. Harry Kane ultimately was one of the players that ended up coming off. It was just poor. It was sideways, middle, sideways, repeat. That's all it was all game. I suppose the biggest chance England had was from a corner. John Stones hit the post and he probably should have scored. And you know what? If it wasn't for Pickford, then Scotland could have won this game. I thought they played very, very well. And given the fact that they are the third bottom ranked team in this tournament, that is just awful from England. I'm sorry, but it really is. And the question marks are all there for everybody to see with Gareth Southgate. Does he know what to do with the players at his disposal? We have got a group of players, especially in an attacking sense, that are some of the best we've had for decades. And we're not utilising them. Jadon Sancho is sat on the bench. He hasn't even got his boots dirty this tournament. This is a guy with 30 goal contributions in the Bundesliga last season. Really? This is a guy that's played Champions League football, so has been on the European stage, the big stage, knows what it's all about. And he can't even get a game against Scotland. And you're trying to get a goal in the game, and he can't even get on. Bukayo Saka wasn't even in the squad. I honestly don't get any of it in any way, shape or form. I really don't. Mason Mount, I felt, had a poor game. By his recent standards. It just simply was not good enough. Phillips, Rice. No. You got to pick one or the other. Not both of them. Really? We've got the advantage of playing our games at home as well. At Wembley. And we still can't take advantage of it. Really? It's poor. Gareth Southgate does not get us to a minimum semi-final final. He's gone. It's as simple as that. I think he should go anyway. I think we're living off the back of the World Cup where we was very fortunate to get to the semi-final given the draw that we had all the way through. And even some of those performances weren't convincing and we had to rely on a bit of luck and penalties and everything else. But now, no. You go into Tuesday's game and you're kind of in a catch-22 as well because you win it, you're going to, play whoever finishes second of the group, which is Germany, Portugal, and France, and Hungary as well. Fair play to them because they got a draw against France. I wouldn't even fancy us against them. But yeah, it's just not good enough. It simply isn't good enough. And as far as I'm concerned, Gareth Southgate, he's going to be the main reason why football's not coming home. It's as simple as that. So we're going to go into the back pages. First of all, the Mirror. Manchester City are ready to smash the all-time Premier League transfer record in order to land Aston Villa midfielder Jack Grealish. Yeah, great. What's the point anymore for everybody else? Manchester United fear midfielder Paul Pogba is ready to run down his contract and leave Old Trafford on a free next year. That would be the second time he would have left Manchester United for free. And when you watch his performances for France, you sit there and scratch your head and say, what on earth has happened at Manchester United? How are you not getting those performances out of Paul Pogba? Baffling. Real Madrid centre-back Rafael Varane, his agent hopes to meet with Manchester United this week to negotiate a move after he rejected a 2-year extension at the Bernabeu. Unreal defender. Honestly, and the kind of price that they're talking about, around about £50 million, that's an absolute bargain. Really? With all due respect, Arsenal are looking at Ben White for £40+ million and Varane's available for 50. I'm not saying we're going to get him, but look at the levels. Come on. The Mail. Juventus will bid 26 million plus teenage defender Radu Dragusin for Saliba and Italy midfielder Manuel Locatelli after his 2-goal performance against Switzerland in Euro 2020. Now, one thing I say about Locatelli, he looks a decent player. But I always am wary about players that go into European competitions and, set the world alight. And they, go and get a move to a big club or whatever it is because of that performance. And it doesn't really work out. You remember James Rodriguez, his performance in the World Cup that time. I've never seen that again. I can go far back as El Hadj Diouf. And the tournament that he had, and it ended up getting him his move to Liverpool and everything. So, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. Crystal Palace are said to be the subject of a £220 million takeover bid from an American investor, John Textor. Be interesting. Crystal Palace, good club. They've had their fair share of bad times and bad owners, Simon Jordan. And be interesting to see what happens, with that one at Crystal Palace and whether the, Premier League are going to start trying to stop all these takeovers and what is going on at the moment with the whole Super League stuff and everything. So, yeah, we'll wait and see. Watford are showing an interest in Rangers and Finland international midfielder Glenn Kamara, of course, former Arsenal player. And yeah, he's had a great season at Rangers. And yeah, I think he would do well at Watford in the Premier League as well. So interesting to see what happens with that. Carlo Ancelotti wants Dominic Calvert-Lewin to join him at Real Madrid as Everton could sell the striker for £50 million this summer. That'd be an interesting one. He obviously likes him, was his manager, of course, for the season. But yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I think he would jump at the chance of going to Real Madrid from Everton. Let's be perfectly honest about it. The Guardian, Arsenal are hoping midfielder Emil Smith-Rowe will sign new terms with the club after they rejected a bid from Aston Villa for the 20-year-old earlier last week. And from what is being mentioned and told, Arsenal are adamant he's not going anywhere and he will be signing a new contract. And everybody can try and make their offers. It's not going to do anything. So very, very interesting. And that's pretty much it for the back pages. I think the transfers will start to really, manoeuvre once the Euros are out of the way, and also got the Olympics coming up and everything as well. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I feel, in particular when the Euros are done, that's when you're going to start to see real manoeuvre in the transfer window. Last piece of news involves Arsenal, and reports are suggesting that Kieran Tierney has agreed a new 5-year contract and is expected to sign in the coming weeks. In particular, they're saying that once Scotland's participation in the Euros is over, is when it will be finalised and made official. Now, the deal is apparently a 5-year deal. You've got to remember, Tierney is still only 24 years old. And this report also suggests that he has been earmarked as the future captain of Arsenal. Obviously, when Aubameyang steps down, whatever the reasoning behind that will be, he leaves, retires, whatever, Kieran Tierney is earmarked to be the one that will take over. And I think everybody at Arsenal saw this coming a mile away with Kieran Tierney and being captain. The one question mark you will always have over Kieran Tierney is his injuries, because his record is just awful. And you've got to think, even in the Euros, he missed Scotland's first game because of a calf problem. And calf problems were the same problems that he was having whilst he was at Arsenal towards the latter part of the season. It's obviously to do, you know, with a lot of the way he plays. He's very all action. He gives 110% every single game. And I suppose that's part of the effects of it. When you watch his performance, like the one for Scotland against England, he was absolutely immense. I know that Gilmour was given man of the match, but my word, Kieran Tierney, for me, he was exceptional. So good. And we've got ourselves an unbelievable player. And when you think £25 million we paid for him from Celtic, that's an absolute steal. Steal in the market that we're in nowadays. And yeah, if we can keep him fit 90+% of the time, then my word, we've got ourselves one hell of a player for a long time. And it shows what Arsenal think, because, you know, he's still got 3 years left on his current contract. But yet Arsenal are straight away, nope, get this sorted out now. None of this running down contracts and everything else. That's a thing of the past. We need to stop that. There's a few that are in that situation now. And I feel that once those are out of the way and done and either sold or leave on freeze or whatever it might be, then you're going to see more of this with players getting tied down to new deals. And if you don't, there's the door. So very, very interesting. So there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you a lot soon. I'm out of here.